5 countries are to be added to the list of states which the government considers a safe country of origin. Justice Minister Helen McEntee will bring a memo to Cabinet tomorrow proposing the list of countries. So apparently, Ireland is reviewing some 5 new countries in which they deem it that these countries are safe for them to deport people back to this country. So at present, these are the 10 countries that are designated as safe countries of origin already by Ireland: Albania, Algeria, Bosnia and Botswana, Georgia, Kosovo, North Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia, South Africa. These are the 10 countries already designated by Ireland as a safe country. The Department of Justice said the introduction of accelerated process has had a significant impact on the number of applications from those countries, which have dropped by over 50% since these procedures were introduced in November 2022. So since 2022 that these 10 countries are mentioned: Albania, Algeria, Bosnia, Botswana, Georgia, Kosovo, North Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia, South Africa, the processing of the application from these people, from citizens of these 10 countries, has been accelerated. That people coming from these 10 countries dropped by 50% since 2022 that they were designated as safe countries. So since Botswana and Algeria were added, applications from those countries fell by 71%, and applications have fallen by 47% from Nigerian applicants since the country with the most applicants was accelerated. So it equally says that applications has fallen by 47% from Nigerian applicants since the country with the most applicants were accelerated. That is to say that Nigeria was the country with the most applications of people seeking asylum in Ireland, and these numbers has equally fallen by 47%. Cabinet will also be told tomorrow that Guardia have prosecuted over 100 people so far this year for arriving to Ireland without appropriate documentation. McEntee will tell her ministerial colleagues that a significant number have been convicted, with over 80 cases resulting in imprisonment for between 1 and 9 months. This contrasts with the jailing of 2 people under the Act throughout the entirety of the last year. Migrants' rights groups have previously complained of interference in the normal asylum process when the jump of prosecutions were reported by. Typically, asylum seekers wait for periods reaching up to several years to have their case processed before they have their cases ruled on by International Protection Appeals Tribunal. This body decides on whether the person has qualified to remain in Ireland, while the relevant sections of Migration Act covering processing of ID documents are official of the law of the land. Figures show they have really been enforced in recent years. Immigration experts have said this is due to it being understood that the act was applicable to asylum applicants due to legal protections for those seeking refugee. So you can see that Ireland is doing a whole lot. They already have 10 countries designated as safe countries in 2022, which helped in reducing applications from citizens of those countries by 50%. And Nigerian applicants equally dropped by 47%. And this year, Ireland is planning a whole lot of deportations as well. That is why you see that their justice minister is going to be proposing 5 new countries for their people to add to the 10 countries they have already, because the island has been overwhelmed by the number of arrivals of asylum seekers since the UK came up with their Rwanda plan. So Ireland on its own is equally looking for a way to solve their own problems. On the issue of deportations, the minister will tell cabinet that deportation orders signed in 2024 are 83% up on the same period last year. So you see, on the same issue of deportations, the minister will tell cabinet that deportation orders signed in 2024 are 83% up at the same time last year. So that is to show you that so far this year already, their deportation order they signed is already up to 83%. As previously reported by the journal, charter flights will soon be required to support the removal process of international protection applicants who have not been approved to remain, with such flights due to commence later this year. So, like I already said before, Ireland is planning a whole lot of deportation. You can already see it's already said in the news that removal flights will soon commence later this year. So if you are asylum seeker already in Ireland and you are seeing signs your asylum is not going to be approved, advise yourself. Ireland is just a small country of about 5 million with 14,000 of their own people having accommodation issues. Yes, and if you're planning to go to Ireland to seek asylum, be acquainted with the news and advise yourself and consider another option, because you might be lucky, you might equally be unlucky.